What's up, everyone? It's back again for another UFC Predictions video. This time for UFC 324. We're back. The Paramount era is now for Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight belt while Ilya is out for personal reasons. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know, but let that happen. Yeah. So since it's the first card of the year, and I did the Champ Bets Awards, so check that out if you haven't already for my thoughts on like 2025 as well as my betting results at the end. It ended up being pretty good, up like 60 units. And like I said, futures at the very bottom, like futures for the year, so that too. So if you want to check those out, by all means, go on my channel and it'll be right there. But yeah, since that's the case, I'm not gonna do what I always do and like check out with previous results because I do it in that video. So, I mean, shoot, let's get into it. Very excited for this card. A lot of fun fights. Ty Miller versus Adam Fugit. I think this fight could be interesting, but I'm not gonna be like, come on, like Ty Miller's winning this fight. I think it's gonna be by decision, to be honest. Fugit's really tough. Ty Miller's not really like the biggest finisher either, so. I think he boxes him up. I think Fugit can make this interesting though, and I wouldn't be surprised for some sort of like project by any means. So I'm by all means I'm not touching this. I'm not touching this. It's probably dog or pass or like fight goes the distance type of bet would be something I'd be like maybe looking at. But I just think Ty Miller just boxes him up if I'm being honest. I think overs is probably the way I would look at betting this. But am I really that interested? No, not really. I know Adam Fugit's at Red Hawk Academy for this camp. I heard this from like Santino, DeFranco's, and Brandon Olivas' show. So, I mean, I'm not sure that's like a great thing or a bad thing. No real stability in his camps and stuff like that. Ty Miller's nice though. Like I think even if he gets taken down, which I mean, Fugit's got to be trying to do that, right? I don't know why he would try to box with Ty Miller. Get takedown, Ty Miller gets up, just box him up. So that's kind of what I think. I think Ty Miller should honestly win this fight. Maybe the plus 3.5 on Adam Fugit's all right, but again, no thanks for me. Ricky Turcios versus Cameron Smotherman. Tell you what, give me the underdog. I like Ricky Turcios here to beat Smotherman. I'm between decision and submission. I'll probably go decision, but I think submission is live because. Believe it or not, I think he can club and sub Cameron Smotherman. Cameron Smotherman's chin is notoriously bad. It's bad. So I wouldn't even shock me if Ricky finds a way to put him down and just latches up a sub right there. Because Ricky's ground game is pretty nasty. He's got a really pretty good jiu-jitsu. And I think he has the grappling advantage here. I mean, Cameron Smotherman at the end of the day is a boxer. That's pretty much all he really is. And like he's one-dimensional. Even on the feet. I think Ricky Turcios has the volume necessary to beat Smotherman. Sure, Smotherman probably landing the better shots. I trust Ricky Turcios' cardio as well as his durability to keep on going, keep on fighting. And if he does have a brain, mix in the grappling. I mean, definitely mix in the grappling. Like that's the easiest path to victory. Ricky Turcios, I think, is a super live dog. I like him. I like him a lot. I think he wins this fight. I don't have a crazy bet on him. I'm like 0.6 units on him, but. To make one, but I think Ricky's very live to win this fight. Give me Ricky Turcios. Ricky Hadouken, as he does. Josh Hokett versus Denzel Freeman. Good fight. It's an interesting one. I was very much involved at Hokett's last fight against Maxi Menace. I had a pretty big bet on him, where I was like, dude, he's gonna kill this guy. Like this guy Maxi Menace, I've seen nothing. He's fought no one, and yeah, I mean. Hokett just murdered him in round 1. This is different. Freeman is all right. I don't think he's anything that crazy. I think some people are kind of higher than him than other people like should be. I am gonna go Hokett. But you know what? I'm gonna go decision. I think decision or late rounds finish. Something actually I'm curious what Hokett round 3 decision is. Because I don't think that's terrible. Plus 195. I might be getting involved because I wasn't really planning on having a bet on this fight. But my thought process on this is that I think this fight Hokett might actually like struggle in. I think on the feet, Denzel Freeman's probably better, but he doesn't really capitalize much on the feet. Let's just be honest. Hoket is like, what I think is going to happen is like I don't really want to lay the money line because I do think Hoket wins, but at the same time, I feel like he's going to struggle. And and the thing is with Hoket is like I think he's going to have like some struggles in the UFC. But also think with Hoket, I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win a lot of these fights even when he struggles. So it's like I can't get there with like this money line. Like I just don't want to lay that juice. But I think he can put a pace on Denzel Freeman, and I think he's going to try and wrestle Denzel Freeman. It won't be easy. I don't think he's going to get the takedown super quickly and stuff like that. Denzel Freeman's going to be on takedown defense mode, but I think Hoket's going to keep on going, keep on trying to get him down. I think he's going to eventually get it down, and when Freeman's down, I don't think he's going to be able to get up. To be honest with you, but I think it's going to be like a kind of a greasy decision, if you ask me. So like I don't hate this like round 3 decision look at all, and maybe cover a little bit of Josh Hoket round 2 just in case. I can get involved with this, but it would be small. It would have to be small. I just don't think he's going to round 1, to be honest with you. I think Denzel Freeman's going to be a little too much early to be like Hoket, just get him out of there. But I mean, the Incredible Hawk, I think he's a good heavyweight, man. You don't have to like the guy. He's going to get a lot of wins in the UFC. His style is too good for this weight class. At other weight classes, he gets killed, obviously. But in heavyweight, it's kind of OP. Just being able to wrestle makes you much better. So, yeah, I think Hoket wins this fight. I think the UFC definitely wants Hoket to win this fight. Yeah, Incredible Hawk time, in my opinion. Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. Sick fight. This is my favorite bet of the card. Alexander Hernandez. I think he's going to honestly murk Michael Johnson. But even if he doesn't, Alexander Hernandez has been on a great run. So is MJ, but who is he beating? Zell Huber. Good win. I think Zell Huber made him look a lot better than he really is. Amin Zaitar. What's there to say? Darius Flowers. I don't even know. Mark Jacasey's not in the UFC no more. Like Diego Ferreira, who he was cooking, he was winning, and then just gets slumped. And that chin is still really bad. It's not like that chin's all of a sudden gotten better. I've not forgotten. And Hernandez has pulled together his win streak. Diego Ferreira. I mean, like I said, that's a good win. I mean, Michael Johnson was doing good against him 2 years ago. Chase Hooper, good win. Able to keep it on the feet against Chase Hooper. Karhalaba. Dicey, but he got the job done. Hubbard, this probably shouldn't have been a split. And Damon Jackson split, which was pretty close. Like Hernandez has been on a good run, man. I think he's really found his footing in the UFC. He's gotten better with his cardio, which I think has been really good for him. I think that 1-2 is just going to be landing on Johnson. Like Johnson could be tricky because I'm not going to be. I'm still worried about like Alexander Hernandez cardio losing faith, but he's been better about it. I'm having belief in this new run that Alexander Hernandez is having. And it's also fading Michael Johnson, who's just older. I still don't think he's anything crazy. I think this is a spot for Hernandez to show up, show out. I love him here. I think this is my favorite bet of the card. It's my biggest bet of the card. So let's go Alexander Hernandez, the Great Ape. Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. I have been so back and forth. I'm gonna go Charles Johnson by decision. It could be KO. Could be sub, to be honest. But I'm gonna go with Charles Johnson. I'm gonna linger my mind about the KO because I think the KO is life for Charles Johnson. But I'm not telling you to bet on Charles Johnson. If you're gonna bet on him, bet like a prop. If you think he's gonna KO or sub, bet on something like that, or wait till after round 1 because this guy's a perpetual round 1 dropper. The only time he hasn't dropped a round 1 off the top of my head was against Joshua Van, who's also a perpetual round 1 dropper. Not so much anymore, but at that point he definitely was. Alex Perez is really good still. He's still really good. I'm very tempted to be on him. I wouldn't be surprised if I like see something and it's like I switch to be on him because he is a good fighter. He's done well in Against Asu, he did well. Did all right against Tatsuro Taira. I mean, he's landing pretty good. Nicolau, he looked great. Makayev, arguably low-key could have won that. Really good. And then, I mean, Pantoja's Pantoja. CJ's really good too. And I do think he's maybe the better fighter on the feet, but like Perez is good. Like he's basic, but he's really good. And it's tough because I think the leg kicks can possibly give Johnson problems. I think Perez can get takedowns. Johnson will probably be able to get up from them, but I think those absolutely can impact the round. Perez does give up moments where he just gets finished. He's pretty durable too. I'm gonna go with decision, but I'm just not confident. I want nothing to do with this fight. I think it's dog or pass. Honestly, I think Perez is absolutely live to win this fight, and he's looked good in almost all these fights. Yeah, give me Johnson, because I do think he's probably gonna do better work on the feet and win rounds 2 and 3 and potentially get a finish. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me. Pass. It's a sick fight though. This is gonna be a banger. Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas. I'm excited for this one. Why? Because I think my guy Nikita Krylov gets back on track. I think he's going to get a submission on Modestas Bukauskas. This is the time to be on Krylov. I avoided the bombs that were against Reyes and Guskov. Reyes, because I was at the card. Because I probably would have been on Guskov there. or not Guskov, excuse me. Krylov there. I would have been on Krylov there if I wasn't at that card. But since I go to cards, usually I'm more selective of my bets, and I don't go with much because I want to enjoy the fights. Against Guskov, I was like, Guskov's dangerous. I don't want to fade this guy. And like, I do think Krylov wins, but yeah, this is the time he's gonna win this fight. There's a lot of things that I like about Krylov in this fight. The kicks can land on Modestas Bukauskas. Remember that kick Marcin Prachnio, the head kick from really up close that he landed on Bukauskas? That's going to be there for Nikita Krylov, and he did something similar. No, not similar, not from that close. I've never seen anything like that from Prachnio. That was insane. But he throws a bunch of kicks, Krylov. That's one of the weapons he really has on the feet, and he almost hit Reyes with one like early on in that fight. And Krylov's ground game, it's so much better than Paul Craig's at this point. Like the one that Modestas Bukauskas. Who are the guys Modestas Bukauskas is beating? Paul Craig retired that fight, and he fought so stupid. By the way, in that fight, we're talking about Modestas going in and clinching up with Paul Craig rather than playing with him at distance. What are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you do that against Paul Craig, where that's his only chance to get like a win? You come in close, and then he's like, okay, it's time to jiu-jitsu. Insane. Terrible fight IQ. He's shown it so many times already. He's had terrible fight IQ. Against Ion Cutelaba, I thought he won that fight. I think the split was kind of crazy. I don't know why people were saying that was a robbery. But he landed so many flush shots on Cutelaba, who is not known for having the best chin. He took all of them, no problem. Zero problems for Cutelaba. I don't think Modestas Bukauskas has the power of Bogdan Guskov or Dominic Reyes. I don't think that's a hot take. Rafael Soqueira, what are we doing here? Like nothing. Marcin Prachnio, I think that's an all right win. He had struggles in that fight though. There's no denying that. Vitor Petrino gets dropped, KO'd bad. I mean, it's not like Modestas Bukauskas has the best chin either. Krylov can crack. And I think Krylov has the better ground game. I think if Bukauskas pulls whatever he did against Paul Craig again, I think he can get swept. He can get swept at any moment. I think he can get subbed at any moment, whether Krylov's on his back or on top. I think Krylov's going to mix in the grappling here, if not even be forced to grapple, because Modestas does something dumb like he did last time. I think on the feet, Krylov absolutely can win. And I think he can take the shots of Modestas Bukauskas. I know people are worried about backing Krylov's chin, but I'm willing to take the risk. I have a pretty hefty bet on Krylov here. I think he gets the job done. I think he gets back on track. He's still pretty young for the division. It's not like he's super old. So Yeah, give me Krylov, man. I think he's absolutely live to get this done. If he gets KO'd, he gets KO'd. I'll live. It is what it is, because I think this is a really good value on a guy who's legitimately a really, really good fighter. And this is a massive step down from Guskov as well as Dominic Reyes. So, yeah, give me Nikita Krylov. I think he gets his job done. I think he wins. Tevy Gaethje versus Andre Hulayev. I don't think this fight's as conclusive as people are saying. Look, I'm gonna go with Teba. I'm gonna go with round 2 KO. I'm gonna be betting this fight like this, how I'm planning on it. But I need to see the odds for some of the props that I'm looking at, because maybe that might steer me away. But I'm looking at something like a Teba Gaethje round 2, round 3 KO, and Pulayev money line, because I think Pulayev might have a chance to win. Because I mean, he's still really green. This is probably the best guy Ateba's fought besides I'd say Robert Valentin, but Robert Valentin went down. It is what it is. The reason why I give Pulayev a little bit of a chance is because I think he knows the game plan here. I think he knows, okay, let's try and avoid Ateba for as long as possible, which is part of why I like the 2-3 KO. And also another reason why I like 2-3 KO. Look, I do think Ateba hits different. I am saying the KO. But Pulayev is stupid durable for no real reason at all. Like, this guy is just durable. It's crazy. So I think with those two things paired together, I think you can do a better job running. And then Tristan Vines, those two things paired together, I think Pulayev is going to be able to perhaps potentially maybe show more of a ground game than Ateba does. Potentially. I'm not counting on that. I think like a cardio dump from Ateba can happen, and then Pulayev finishes him late. I think that's potential to happen too. Maybe Ateba again adrenaline dumps and wins, and Pulayev wins 2-3 decision. I think those are all possible. So I'm just fading Ateba Gaethje decision, because I don't think he's going to the decision, honestly. And like the round 1 KO. I'm not going to be putting much on this, by the way. I wouldn't suggest doing that either. Yeah, I think Pulayev is just going to weasel himself away from getting KO round 1. Like, that's what I think. I think Ateba Gaethje round 2 KO is absolutely live. And that's how I like this. I'd like to play this fight. So, round 2, 3 KO, and Pulayev money line. I think you go off scot-free with that. So, yeah, give me Ateba to win. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davidson Figueiredo. I wasn't even planning on having a bet on this fight, but then the spreads came out. Oh my goodness. I mean, Umar Nurmagomedov like -7.5 or -5.5. -5.5 at like -240 and -7.5 at -165. Gifts. Those are gifts, in my opinion, because Figueiredo has no real minute winning equity here at all. Not on the feet, not on the ground. He arguably lost Montel Jackson fight. Arguably lost that fight. I thought he did. And Montel Jackson straight up did nothing. And I thought he lost that fight. That says a lot. That says a lot, in my opinion. The only way I can see Davidson Figueiredo threaten that spread bet for Umar is if he just drops Umar. That's if he drops him. And I mean, it's potential because Figgy does hit hard. I'm not sure how. I don't think he's like the hardest hitter at 135. But I mean, that's what kind of needs to happen. I think even if the guillotine happens and it's really deep, I think Umar still wins that round. I don't think he gets subbed by that. I think if Umar does get out of that, he's gonna be able to just take back the round likely, unless it's like very, very last second. But Umar's gonna be winning all the moments on the feet, all the moments on the ground. It's such a setup fight. It's sad to say, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Umar's just going to be able to do whatever he wants to Figgy, and I think he probably subs him. I think fight ends by sub is probably also an all right look, because I mean, I think that's most of Figgy's win equity, just guillotine sub or Umar, or I think Umar sub is very live as well. So yeah, that's what I think. I think Umar sub. I think that gets the job done, but I think the spread is amazing on Umar Nurmagomedov. Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. This is another one. I want nothing to do with this one. People are forgetting how good Arnold Allen is. They are. I'm going with Gene Silva. I think he's gonna win a decision. But man, dude, Arnold Allen is really good. I think people are absolutely forgetting like this guy is pretty damn good. Sure, so I can't get the image of Evloev. I can't speak. Evloev hurting Allen out of my mind. I think Evloev has underrated power. I'll say that. But Gene Silva definitely has really good power, and I don't think Allen's really fought anyone with like crazy power besides Cater, who got injured pretty quickly in that fight. I guess Hooker. But man, I think Allen can absolutely find a way to push a pace on Gene Silva and maybe like finish him late. I think that's possible, to be honest, because man, Arnold Allen's a really good at pushing pace. I'm not sure if Gene Silva's really fought anyone who can really do that, to be honest. I mean, not any of these guys, in my opinion. So Arnold Allen, I think, is live to do that. Especially like around 3, I think things will get really dicey for Gene Silva, unless he's hurt Allen like super bad a few times. Like Allen's not the same fighter because he got hurt so much. But yeah, Gene Silva, I think is going to hit like the really good shots on Allen. Allen's going to have to survive a little bit early on, especially. I think you probably want to live bet Allen more likely than not. I'm not as high on Gene Silva as like a lot of other people are. I do think he's good, but I do think he's kind of overrated. And I do think Allen's really good. So, like, I don't think an upset's out of this world. I don't think it's upsets out of this world. So, stay away from me. I want nothing to do with this fight. I hope Allen wins, honestly, because I think Gene Silva's annoying. Yeah, give me Gene Silva to win. Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Sick fight. I'm going to go Natalia Silva, but this could be an upset. This could be an upset again. Rose Namajunas, unlike other girls, I think she has like an alright shot at beating Natalia because she presents other problems that like some of these other girls, Natalia Silva's just doesn't present. Rose Namajunas has good footwork. I think that footwork is going to be massive for like keeping her in this fight because everything is going to be about timing for Rose Namajunas here, and she has extremely good timing on her takedowns. And I mean, I think you can argue that Rose Namajunas has fought the better competition at 125, which I mean, don't get me wrong, Natalia Silva's fought some good girls, but I feel like a lot of them is kind of tailored to her style. Alexa Grasso, she's flat-footed, to be honest. She doesn't move well. Jasmine Jasudavicius, it's the same thing. Jessica Andrade, I mean, like what she's just following her, doing nothing. Arujo had some success with wrestling, but I mean, again, it's the same story. Blada, the same story. It's like a lot of those girls. Rose Namajunas can move. She can move, and I mean, she's fought some killers at 125. We're talking about Erin Blanchfield, Miranda Maverick, Manuel Fiorot, who's I talked about in my last video. I think if she fights Shevchenko again, she's going to win pretty easily. Manuel Fiorot is like the best in the weight class. Amanda Hebos at that point is like not finished. That's still a good win, and I don't care about Tracy Cortez. But like Rose Namajunas fought some really good girls at 125, and guys, I mean, she's literally competed in all of these fights. So I can't lie, the plus 3.5 on Rose Namajunas, if I had to bet anything, it'd be that. And I'm tempted. I think I might even get there, to be honest with you. Like I think that the odds makers know that it's minus 115. Like they know what's going on. Rose is good enough to get around. Like I think it's very possible. I'm not counting out Rose in this fight. I am going with Silva still, but I mean, I'll say this too. Judges love Rose. They love Rose. So I'm not eating this chalk of Natalia Silva. It's absolutely a big no-no. Minus 410. Get the hell out of here. No thanks. And I mean, Paramount Era, if they want like a big fight, Valentina Shevchenko versus Rose Namajunas. I mean, they're two friends. There's that. So yeah, I think Natalia does win. I think she does what she does. But I do think Rose competes and makes this competitive. So for me, plus 3.5 or maybe plus 5.5. I'll have to see the odds on that. Actually, it's probably disgusting. Not thinking about it, but I'm curious enough to look. Minus 165. Tempting. But yeah, give me Rose. I think she gets the job. No, not Rose. No, give me Silva. I think she gets the job done. But yeah, screw this fight. I hate this fight with all my being. I don't want to pick this fight. I'm gonna go Lewis. There's literally no logic with me going Lewis. He's gonna find a way to win and get to the White House. It's a simple. Like that's all. That's all I'm going off of. Look, I get it. Waldo has the volume to win this fight. Jab, 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 jab. All jab all day. And it's going to be boring. No one wants to see that. He could absolutely very well do that against Lewis and win a decision. Don't get me wrong. But I think Lewis can win a decision because, again, Waldo Cortez Acosta has nothing volume. There is such nothing volume. I'm hoping Lewis just bonks him. I think it probably comes later in the fight, 2-3. But, I mean, I just want nothing to do with this fight. I'm going to be honest. I want nothing to do with this fight. I don't want to bet on Lewis. I don't want to bet on Cortez Acosta. I mean, at this number, he's not to be trusted. He is no. But, I mean, he's likely going to be doing well until not. But yeah, I mean, his chin has been good at MMA. I know he's been chinned really bad in boxing before. I do think it's live to happen here. Yeah, Derek Lewis is going to find a way to get on this White House card. I mean, maybe Lewis can mix into wrestling. I'm not sure. I mean, honestly, maybe Waldo could too. But I think that might not be good for his gas tank if he does that. So, I don't know. But I'm going Lewis. I'm doing it for the vibes. Want nothing to do with this. I'm fine with being wrong on this one. It's never Waldo for me. Sean O'Malley versus Yadong Song. Song Yadong. Banger fight. This is a tough one for me. Because, like, in my head, I'm just like, well, this is easy O'Malley. And look, I'm going to go O'Malley to win this fight. But I think I have a way I'm interested in playing this fight. Fight winner inside the distance only. Song Yadong. So, like, that's plus 125 on Bovada. Then, if I pair that, and like obviously these are not parlayed or anything like that. If like it's kind of a hedge of sorts. If I play Sean O'Malley submission or decision at plus 110. By the way, O'Malley's decisions plus 115. Sean O'Malley by submission or decisions plus 110. Let me tell you exactly why I'm thinking submission decision. Because I'm convinced Song Yadong is gonna wrestle in this fight. O'Malley is pretty legit like grappling on the ground. He does. So I think a submission is actually like low-key kind of possible for O'Malley. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I mean, I kind of don't think it's out of the realm of impossibility. I don't think Song Yadong is easy to sub. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, if Song Yadong is going to be taking him down, I think there's going to be opportunities for O'Malley to, like, if he wants to try and go for some submission attempt, I think he potentially could. And again, this is what Song Yadong should be doing, because the reach, I think on the feet, Sean O'Malley's going to school him. The reason why I'm going against the KO is because I think Song Yadong's durable. And that's why I'm interested in the finish only Song Yadong. So, like, but if you, like, bet or, like, the same thing on it, you end up at profit no matter what. So, like, I think those are, like, interesting looks on the fight, because I mean, like I said, I ultimately think Sean O'Malley wins a decision. So if he wins a decision, that money from Song Yadong finish only comes back to me. Like, I get that money back, it voids, and then the submission decision bet wins on Sean O'Malley. And again, that's what I think happens. And the submission's kind of like a hedge in a way. It was like, okay, if he gets a submission, I'm not going to lose my mind. I'll be happy. I'll be okay. Even with the Song Yadong loss, I'll still make out with something. So I think that's an interesting way to play it. And I think that's something I'm looking at possibly doing. So yeah, give me Sean O'Malley. I think on the feet is just too much. I think the range is going to be too much. He's so clean. Song Yadong hits hard though, so which is why finish only. Like, he could absolutely finish Sean O'Malley. I don't think that's impossible by any means. Song Yadong's a really good fighter, man, and that's why it's been so hard for me to, like, just click on the button on Sean O'Malley money line. It's Song is legit. He's super hungry. You know he wants to fight for the belt. He's getting in his prime years now. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an upset. But if this fight is Sean O'Malley's way, I think he's going to school Song Yadong. I think he's just too good on the feet. Sick fight, though. This is a great fight. So that's probably the one I'm most excited about. Yeah, I'm going to go Sean O'Malley and win a decision. But how I say to play it, I think that's a pretty good look. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Sick main event to start the year. First interim belt of the year. First title fight of the year. But although the first undisputed title fight is Volkanovski versus Lopez. So that's going to be exciting. Cannot wait for that next week. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, as soon as it hits the ground, it's over. You know what? I am curious about one specific, if there's odds for one specific thing. Because I'm thinking of something like Paddy Pimblett 2-3-4, like finish, or like by sub. Because like that's kind of what I think is gonna happen. Where do they have it? Not here. Okay, here they go. 2-3-4 submission plus 300. Wish it was better, but I mean they're kind of onto it. I'll tell you what though, Paddy can win by like a TKO. I think he could maybe land a head kick on Gaethje and it hurts Gaethje, and then he just lands ground and pound. I think that's a possibility. So I say tread lightly with like submission and KO bets. But yeah, Paddy gets one takedown. There's enough time on the clock. It's over. That's the fight. Justin Gaethje's grappling game is just not there. It's not there. I think on the feet, like, and I will say I do have a bet on Paddy Pimblett, and it's early odds. I don't think the odds now are like, I don't like them that much. But Gaethje, man, it scares me. Gaethje did bring in Faraz Ziam this camp, and I think that's a great move. And the reason why I think it's a great move, because I think Faraz Ziam is going to would imitate Paddy Pimblett on the feet, just be so much better than how he fights on the feet. And it's like, no, Faraz Ziam's not going to be able to recreate the ground scrambles and stuff like that with Paddy Pimblett. But even if it gets there, it's donezo for Gaethje anyways. So Gaethje's whole goal, stay on the feet, and Ziam is going to be able to imitate that, and like that's how Gaethje's going to have to fight. I mean, Gaethje overswings and stuff like that. So I mean, if he overswings, he literally could be another fight. So he cannot do that. I think Paddy's like wrestling is gotten a lot better. I think him being able to wrestle Chandler is impressive. I think even without wrestling, he can get it to the ground. I think he can just get a back take. A back take could honestly be the fight. Honestly, I think Paddy Pimblett could flying triangle Justin Gaethje. I can see that, man. It's crazy, but there's a possibility of it. And I think on the feet, what I'm scared of for Paddy, the leg kicks of Gaethje, man. I think he can debilitate Paddy's legs, to be honest. But honestly, I think Paddy can debilitate his legs too. He's got some good kick on the feet. Paddy Pimblett's hands, god awful. His defense to his head, god awful. But he's got some kicks. He does have some actual like pretty alright kicks, man. But I think he finds a way to get this fight to the ground. I think he wins, man. I think the UFC want him to win. Yeah, I think Paddy Pimblett finds a way to get this on the ground, whether it be some meme way or something, maybe Gaethje trips or something, and it gets a sub and wins. So, yeah, give me Paddy Pimblett. I think he wins this fight. So now, as always, got that done. Let's go over more stick strikes, more takedowns for each of the fights on the card. Ty Miller, Adam Fugit. Fugit more takedowns. I don't see why Ty will go for any. More stick strikes, definitely Ty Miller. Two good with combos. Ricky Turcios, Smotherman, more takedowns. Turcios, Smotherman's literally just a boxer. I think more stick strikes. Turcios, volume. Josh Hokit versus Denzel Freeman. This is interesting. More takedowns. I'm going to go with Hokit. I think he's going to be one more actively going for them. More stick strikes. It's interesting because I don't know how much ground and pound they're going to count for Hokit. So I'm going to go with Freeman. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the stick strike one there. Michael Johnson, Alexander Hernandez. More takedowns, definitely Hernandez. More stick strikes. I think this could be interesting. It could go either way. Michael Johnson's probably going to be trying to land a bunch more. So I guess I'll lean Michael Johnson, but I don't think he's going to be landing the better shots of the two. But if it ends so quick, maybe it's just Hernandez. Alex Perez, Charles Johnson. More takedowns Perez because he's going to be the one going for them. More 6 strikes. I'll lean CJ. I think he's going to be landing a bunch more. I think that teep kick's going to be pretty good for him. I mean, actually, I didn't even mention this in my breakdown, but like Perez does get hurt to the body, and I think there's a world where Charles Johnson could do that too with like a body kick. So deserve the mention. Nikita Krylov and Dustin Bukowskis. I think more takedowns, not Bukowskis, but Krylov. I think he's going to actually go to that this time around. And then more 6 strikes. I think Krylov because he's going to. I mean, but that's just a low volume guy, anyways. So, yeah, Krylov. Gaethje, Pulayev. I think Gaethje more 6 strikes if he does finish this fight because he's gonna be one actually trying to land. I think, but Pulayev, I think, is going to be running away, making a point of that. More takedowns, I don't want anything to do with that. Maybe Pulayev, because I think he might just want to rather try to take the fight to the ground, even if he's not like some good takedown artist. But I want nothing to do with that takedown one. Umar Nurmagomedov, Davidson Figueiredo. 6 strikes, takedowns. Umar, easy. Simple as that. Arnold Allen, Gene Silva. I'm going to go with 6 strikes, Gene Silva. Although I think if this does get to round 3, it could get really dicey. And Arnold Allen could rack up a lot of 6 strikes. More takedowns, probably Allen. I don't really see Gene Silva mixing that in there. Natalia Silva, Rose Namajunas. I do think Natalia wins, so I'm going to go with her 6 strikes. Rose, more takedowns, though. I do like more takedowns for Rose. I don't think Natalia's going for no takedowns. Waldo Cortez Acosta, Derek Lewis. 6 strikes, Waldo. I mean, unless he just gets bonked right away, it's going to be him. More takedowns. It's interesting. I guess I'll go Lewis, but I don't know, man. Sean O'Malley, Yadong Song Yadong. More takedown Song. More takedown Song for sure. And more 6 strikes, I think Sean O'Malley for sure. So, yeah. That one's pretty simple. Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. More takedowns, Paddy. Gaethje's not going for no takedowns on Paddy. More 6 strikes is interesting. I might be willing to go Gaethje. I'll go Gaethje, and he still loses with that. Like he's gonna be landing some on the feet, but then Paddy just finds a way to just finish it right there, then there. So, yeah, there we go. That's my breakdown. Thank you so much for watching. You can check out my stuff at betmma.tips, champ bets. You can subscribe, like the video, all that stuff. We got a big card next week, Volkanovski versus Lopez 2. I love the fights on that card even more than I do on this card. So, man, it's very exciting. Yeah. So, peace. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.